Howdy, how are we? There you go. There you go. You all right? Good, thanks. Hello.
All right, thanks everyone. Back by due to popular demand. Mitchell Starc here to you today. Anyone like to get us started?
Sure. Mitch, just interested to hear how the build-up for this test was, and how's your shoulder, and what was that performance? How are you feeling after that performance, given the physical challenges you've been through in recent days?
Great lead up, 2 rounds of golf and into the test match. So, it's a quick turnaround. The couple extra days of rain in Manchester was obviously handy for our quicks, no doubt for them as well. But just sort of giving the shoulder a bit of a chance to have a couple of quiet days and get stuck in today. So, on the whole, I think a pretty good day for us.
And then you spent some time off again today. What was the go there?
I just went and got some strapping. I just probably shouldn't have thrown it the way I did, and got some strapping. All good.
Just beside the other side.
Mitch, I think Andrew McDonald said to us the other day that you did damage your AC joint. Is that correct? Can you actually talk us through what's happened there?
That's my understanding of it. I'm not interested in getting scanned or anything like that. So that's what the doc and physio thinks the case. We'll worry about that at the end of the week. So, just a bit of discomfort there. It's something going on in the AC, nothing major, and still able to bowl and do what I need to do.
And also, could I just ask about Pat Cummins' first spell? I know he finished your figures like 1 for 60, but it felt like he bowled incredible that first spell. He beat the bat a million times and got a wicket, had a few drop catches. Just talk us through that, especially after the week he's had, where there's been a bit said about him, I guess.
Yeah, that's Pat Cummins. He's a class performer and has been for a very long time. He could bowl a lot worse than that and pick up more than 1 wicket. So, he was fantastic today and heaped a fair bit of pressure on at times. Like you say, he's quite unlucky not to finish with more wickets. So, nice to see him go about his business the way he normally does. He's obviously copped a little bit, but it's his class today. He's come out and done his job.
Mitch, Pat Cummins said before this test that this is the highest he's seen your pain threshold be. I mean, there's the last 6 months you bowled with a lot of pain, the finger, the shoulder, the hamstring, all of that. So just how do you break through that pain threshold and bowl the way you do?
I guess it's something I've sort of built on through the last, I've played for over 10 years and been through a few niggles and injuries over the time. So, there's been times where, I've left the team a man down or other people have and we all push through niggles and whatnot. So, no different this week. It's just a little bit of discomfort and away we go.
And just on the Ben Stokes dismissal, the weather was turning and it came at a crucial time as well. Can you just talk us through the delivery itself and just the reaction from him?
Swung a little bit and hit the top of off. Something like that, I think.
G'day, Mitch. Can you talk us through, I suppose, the fact that the team's sort of tactics, field settings today were a little bit more orthodox? Was that simply the case of the conditions allowing more for that, and that it was, I suppose, what Leeds was probably the most lively pitch you've seen before this one?
Yeah, Leeds certainly had a fair bit more pace and probably carry, I think, compared to the first 2 wickets. And then Old Trafford was pretty flat. I think they're still playing a county game on it and still scoring heaps of runs. So that speaks for that. But, certainly if we felt today with, obviously, the overheads, a little bit in the wicket, winning the toss helps as well. All probably contributed to, slightly different plans at times. We still pretty much stuck to our guns and our process as we have for the first 4 test matches. But, a little bit more in the wicket, bowling first, a little bit overhead. Probably saw at times a little more traditional fields, I guess.
And just with the, obviously there were a few chances that went down today and there were here, 4 years ago, same, first day of the game. But just talk, I suppose, about the resolve to kind of see it through and keep creating those chances and not sort of let the, I suppose, heads go down if the ball went down.
Yeah, that's the nature of the group at the minute. stay calm and keep creating chances. It's no one means to drop chances. The fact we kept creating them speaks to the application and the quality of the group, and then to continue to take them throughout to take the extra chances throughout the day. So at no stage were anyone flapping or anything like that. It was the group was pretty calm out there. At times the scoring rate was a bit higher, as we've seen throughout the whole series, but I think as we sit here, 1 for 50 after bowling him out, I think it's a pretty good day for us.
Mitch, could I just ask about Todd Murphy? Could you talk a bit about the role he did today, obviously coming back into the team after missing Old Trafford and then taking a couple of pretty important wickets in the context of the game? Yeah,
he did. He's since he started in his Test career, he's been really really good for us. Obviously through India, didn't play a heap of a role at Headingley. He's pretty sparingly there, but he's come back in and played a job today. He's just he's going to learn from those experiences. His first Ashes tour and on the back of his first Indian tour. So he's going to be a quality spinner for us for a long time. Obviously, coming in and trying to fill Nathan's boots is a big deal as it is. And Nathan's obviously bowled quite well here in the past. Did in the Test final. So Todd's run off the back of that and bowled some really good overs today. Obviously, that you said there's a couple of crucial wickets. So look to him to play another part in the second innings.
Sam up the back, sorry.
You're right, Starkey. I know you're a humble guy, and you're keen not to pump up your own tyres, but you looked like you were in a fair bit of pain when you did go off, and your performance when you came back was incredible. Like, can you just speak about the motivation and where it comes from to dig deep like that?
Like I said before, you don't want to leave a group man down at any time. It's not at that stage anyway, but it's just a case to throw a bit of tape on it and get back into it. So it's fine. It's not the most comfortable thing, but I don't think any bowler in international cricket is going to say it's something that's comfortable for the body. So just push on. We've got a big week ahead of us to try and win this Ashes series, and then a few weeks off. So there's no reason not to get up for this week.
We'll just finish off with the ones that have already put their hands up for the rainbow.
Mitch, Pat mentioned a couple of times in the lead into this game that most of this squad were here 4 years ago, so kind of knew what to expect in terms of a last test of a draining tour. I was wondering whether that has been of benefit, that experience, and whether you can sort of articulate how fatigued people are after 6 test matches in basically 8 weeks.
It was a pretty cruisy tour for me last time. It's been pretty compressed this series with obviously both teams playing a test match before the Ashes started. So it's been a pretty compressed schedule. As I said before, those couple of extra rain days in Manchester probably gave both attacks a chance to freshen up for this game. Guys have been finding ways to switch off, whether it be on a golf course. Some of the families are still here. We're back in London and it was sunny, so I think a few people got out and about over the last couple of days to try and switch off where they could. But you're playing international cricket in Ashes series in England, so there's no reason not to get up for this week.
Well bowled, Mitch. In the spectrum of pitches, in terms of pace and carry and movement, where does the Ovals pitch today fit in, looking at the series as a whole?
Well, I think we mentioned it just before. It's probably, Leeds had a bit more pace and bounce in it. You go back to Old Trafford was as flat as the series had. I didn't play at Birmingham, but it looked, at times good for batting. At times it was, if you got the ball in the right areas enough there. So, they've all been slightly different throughout the series. It was overcast all day today as well, so we know that plays a bit of a part in England at times with the Duke ball. So, they've all been slightly different throughout the contests, and it was again today where we finally won a toss and got the chance to bowl on it first.
Mitch, I just want to press you a little bit more about the ball to Stokes. Was that kind of the perfect ball you want to bowl to a left-hander?
Yeah, I guess so. Swung a little bit late and managed to hit the stumps.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about bowling to Ben Stokes? Like, he's gotten the better of Australia on a few occasions. You've gotten the better of him a few times. That ball to him in the 2019 World Cup where he kind of kicked his bat. What's it kind of like to bowl to him, and how's he maybe different to other top flight batters around the world?
You probably wouldn't put him like many others. We've seen that throughout this series, and the way he played, at Lords was next level. The way he's played throughout the series with the tail, I think we're pretty happy to get the tail out there with the tail today. So yeah, look, he's just able to find different places in the field, hit the ball. There's been times where our field's been all on the boundary and he's just cleared the rope. So we know he's a class act, and he can do a fairly good job with the tail when he knows where he wants to hit the ball and can manage that the way he does. So yeah, for us, it's try and get him in there early while the ball's doing a bit. Obviously, the wicket today, I know overhead's helped that case, but yeah, he's time and time again, he's a class performer. So it's nice to get him out as early as we can.
Mitch, two quick ones. Who's on top? 283 all out is not a mammoth total, but it's not trivial. And what's it like bowling to this fella here? Because he hasn't got 100 in this series yet, but he's hurt you a few times, hasn't he?
It's a big ball, yeah. No, look, it's, you could say it's an even day. I think we won the toss for a change, and at times the scoreboard probably leaked a fair bit, but to bowl them out, with an hour and a half left in the day, to go to stumps only one down is a nice result overnight. But there's enough in the wicket if you put the ball in the right area. Likewise, if you're patient enough and absorb enough pressure, you can obviously value for your shots here with the big square and obviously a fast outfield. So yeah, you could argue that it's a pretty even day. But yeah, for us, I think it was nice to get first use of the wicket with the ball and then obviously play out the day as it was. So and then to answer your question, he's obviously going to play a fair bit of cricket for England over a long time, and yeah, it's nice it's the last test.
Last one.
Mitch, I think there's one area that we can all agree Pat has failed as a captain, and that's in calling the right side of the coin. You've only mentioned it 3 times so far in this press conference.
I'm not the only one to mention it, no.
Well, what did you all say? I'm interested in what the bowler said when he finally got one right today.
Well, actually, Marnus was the only one that was pushing for him to start calling heads. Everyone else you got to stick to your guns, and if you go 0-6 for the series on tosses, it's not your fault, is it? So everyone's pretty pleased he finally got one.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.